What are you looking forward to most about travelling to Easter Road on Sunday?
Well, we know it's going to be a difficult game, obviously. Easter Road, it's a great venue to play football, and a number of our squad haven't played there before, so they'll be looking forward to that trip. It's always a decent atmosphere there. I'm pretty sure we'll bring a good travelling support as well, but obviously we're wanting the same outcome as what we got a couple of weeks ago, but we know the challenges that we face. Obviously, Hibs are at the wrong end of the table as far as they're concerned, and they've got real quality in their team, so we have to be wary of that. But from our own perspective, we're looking to bounce back after what's been a couple of poor results, albeit the performance on Wednesday was very good. There was lots of parts of the game that I was very, very pleased with. The only disappointment from our end, I suppose, is the manner of the couple of goals that we conceded.
Looking at the squad for Sunday, have you got any more good news for the squad and how it's going to take in Sunday, or are we still struggling in some areas? Well,
we've got one or two that are really pushing hard to try and make themselves available, but at this present moment in time, I can't give any guarantees. It's the injuries are quite serious ones, and will be led by the players at this stage, ultimately, with regards to how they are feeling. If they're not in a position where they feel that they can play the game at a certain level of intensity, then we're not in a position where we can rush them. But we've got another training session tomorrow, and we'll see how those two in particular are feeling. It may just be the same squad as what we had on Wednesday night, but there's still 48 hours prior to kick-off, and a lot can change in that time.
How pleasing was it for Ryan Stein to get some minutes for you on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously when we brought Ryan to the club, it was a really important signing for us, and then obviously had the disappointment of the serious injury, but he's made great progress now, getting himself back fit. He's obviously nowhere near the match fitness that's required to play 90 minutes. We've been trying to build up his minutes. The Aberdeen game, he got 20 minutes the other night. There he's got the best part of half an hour, and we'll gradually try and do that as we go through the weeks. But he feels great. He's got no pain in the injury. It's just now about trying to build up that match fitness.
Do you feel that because of the difficulties you've had over the last few weeks with injuries, that you may have to re-look at your recruitment strategy and maybe look at something else for the transfer window in January?
Well, we've still got a considerable period of time between now and January, obviously, and I would expect 3 of the 4 guys who are out injured at the moment to be well back by then. Obviously, Craig Sibbald is going to be that little bit longer into the early part or maybe the middle of January, but we have these conversations as a club. There is a set budget, and we've got to try and work to that, but at the same time, if we feel that there's a key area that we need to strengthen, then of course we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But when everybody's fit and healthy, we've got a really competitive squad, and this squad has done really, really well up to now. Picked up a decent number of points for this stage of the season. We're sitting 5th in the table at the moment, and we probably feel that we are 2 or 3 points short of where we probably should be, given some of the disappointing goals that we've conceded. So there's no point me as manager overly concerning myself with the players who aren't available. I've got to focus on the players who are fit, and I believe we've got enough fit players in the squad to go to Easter Road to give a really good account of ourselves and hopefully come away with a positive result.
But when Ryan came on Wednesday night, Luca moved to a slightly different position from there. Were you pleased with the outcome of that change that was made for him and what he became involved in the game?
Yeah, I mean, we felt in the early part of the second half that we weren't able to get the likes of Middleton and Trapanovsky on the ball enough, so we decided to make the change and go with 2 strikers up front with Van der Sande and Dalby. And then obviously just go with the two wing backs as the two players giving us the width on either side, and we tried to strengthen that midfield area by getting the extra man in there with Luca. So I felt it worked well. I just think for all the possession and the territory that we had, we were putting balls into dangerous areas. I just think sometimes you've got to credit the opposition, and Motherwell get lots of men back in behind the ball. Very good at getting blocks on shots and defending their box really well, and credit to them for that. From our perspective, the overall performance was a very positive one. Of course, we'll take learnings from the goals that we conceded, and we'll try and make not try and make those mistakes again, I suppose, as we go forward.
Looking at November, 1st of November today, forward, 4 games coming up this month, 2 at the start, 2 at the end, and the international break in the middle. How much does that disrupt the preparation, or does that help with maybe some of the injury guys coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about it before. The international breaks can come at good times and bad times, and I think when you're winning games of football and you've got a bit of momentum and a bit of confidence, then you don't want the break. I think given the situation that we're in currently, with the amount of injuries that we've got to cope with, the international break might be a positive for us. This week we always knew was going to be demanding, given the players that we're missing. 3 games in a week is a tough ask for most teams, but especially for us at this moment, because we can't rotate and freshen things up like we would in key areas. You saw that the other night with Motherwell. They were able to rest some important players, given they've got an important game coming up at the weekend. We don't have that luxury at the moment, but it's not something that we're making excuses about. It's just the reality of the situation.
That certainly has been a hard week. 3, there's no easy games in this league, but 3 particularly tough games that you have had: the Aberdeen, the Motherwell, and Hibs coming up, all within 8 days. Yeah,
it is. It's very demanding. Held my hands up after the game, and was quite comfortable in admitting that Aberdeen were the better team. At Pittodrie on Saturday evening, and deservedly won the game. I thought the reaction from the players on Wednesday evening was a really positive one, a really good one, and I thought the overall performance was probably one of our best of the season to date, albeit not getting the outcome that we all wanted. So we have to take the positives from the game on Wednesday night and try and get a bit of confidence from that and take that into the game at Easter Road, and I'm confident that we can do that.